Hello and welcome back to Brewer's Bastion, where every week we brew up monsters, bosses, and ideas to make your D&D world unforgettable. And if you're looking for brand new, high-level boss fights to throw at your players, well, you're just in time. Tempora the Chronomancer is a time-twisting archmage who warps the flow of combat itself. She comes with her own entourage of temporal echoes, living shards of her own power, and an Orc Chronoguard, a brutal orc warrior, frozen halfway between the past and the present, and duty-bound to serve Tempora to the bitter end. Together, they form one of the most cinematic and unpredictable boss fights you'll ever run. As I describe Tempora's abilities, remember, I'm not imposing any form of storytelling on you with this one. Use the stats and abilities as you will, and come up with any backstory you want for the character. From a renegade researcher who broke reality to a desperate wizard trying to undo a tragedy, Tempora is a template for your big bad time wizard, and that wizard can take on whatever form you would like them to. For purposes of description, I'll refer to her as Tempora throughout the video, but feel free to rename, regender, and restyle her however best fits your campaign. Tempora is a CR19 endgame boss, a powerhouse of control, mobility, and resilience. But her power doesn't come from damage alone. It comes from how she manipulates time. Every spell she casts has a potential to create a temporal echo, a flickering version of herself that acts immediately after her turn, striking with spectral blades of pure force. These echoes don't last long. They have a measly 10 hit points and are quickly eliminated by high-level parties, but they hit like hammers, dealing an average of 19 points of force damage per strike and exploding for some extra damage whenever they're destroyed. The battlefield becomes chaotic as these shimmering duplicates blink in and out, detonating with bursts of chronal energy as the party scrambles to keep up. The key takeaway? Tempora doesn't feel like just one creature. She's an army of one. Let's talk about what makes Tempora a boss, not just a high-level wizard. First, her Temporal Rend ability, an AoE ability that forces creatures to make con saves or get yanked backwards in time to a position they occupied earlier in the fight. They take solid force damage and can be teleported out of formation, right back into AoEs, traps, or into her bodyguard's melee range. Speaking of control, her Stasis Lock ability is also quite a showstopper. It paralyzes one creature with time magic, taking it out of the fight completely for a round or two, and when the effect finally does wear off, the creature takes force damage as its body catches up to the timeline. If you flavor it right, this moment should feel brutal, flesh and bone cracking as the flow of seconds slams back into motion, and this creature churns back into the timeline. Of course, Tempora also has your standard 3 legendary resistances that you just have to give to bosses at this level. After all, you can't have your boss's turns totally skipped due to a bad roll against the cleric's level 1 command spell, now can you? But her most powerful boss-like ability? Temporal Salvation. When she would drop to 0 hit points, she uses her reaction to rewind time itself. She heals all the damage she has taken in the last minute. That's 10 rounds of combat. But it gets even nastier. If 2 or more temporal echoes are nearby whenever this happens, she absorbs them, gaining the effects of the Foresight spell for 8 hours. That means advantage on everything. Attacks, saves, checks, you name it, while enemies have disadvantage on all of their attacks against her. She can see just a little bit into the future, and she knows what you're going to do. This is the point where players realize, up until now, they've only been fighting in the warm-up phase, and time is not on their side. And for her legendary actions, Tempora leans into tactical dominance. She can cast cantrips as a legendary action to keep pressure high, teleport short distances through time to avoid damage, or unleash her Chrono Break ability, a 3-action pulse that disables enemy reactions for the round and deals solid AoE damage. Perfect setup for when she needs to make sure her powerful spells can't be countered by a stray counterspell. Combine this with lair actions that let her shift the entire room through time, literally changing the battle map mid-fight, and you have a boss that keeps your players on their toes every single round. Tempora's power shines brightest, however, when she has an ally to back her up, and that is where her Orc Chronoguard and Temporal Echoes come in. The Chronoguard is a living wall, a heavily armored orc wielding a glaive, and he's built for battlefield control, not raw damage. He has the sentinel feature, meaning anyone trying to rush at Tempora gets stopped in their tracks. Even worse, his Guardian's Stand ability lets him make up to 4 opportunity attacks per round, 1 for every point of constitution modifier he has. The fighter tries to charge past and attack Tempora. The orc intercepts, hits, and stops them cold. A rogue tries to slip by, certain that the orc is now busy with the fighter. Same result. He's not flashy, but he is perfect at what he does, buying Tempora time. And with his stalwart shield reaction, he can even take hits meant for her, sacrificing his own hit points to keep her perfectly safe from would-be attackers. So, while Tempora is busy erasing your players from the timeline, the Chronoguard ensures that nobody lays a finger on her. Then you add in the Temporal Echoes and combat becomes pure chaos. Flashes of light, sudden detonations, and absolute chaos as Tempora and her copies act in near perfect sequence. It's disorienting, cinematic, and absolutely unforgettable. When the fight begins, layer her phases, kind of like a boss battle in a video game. Phase 1, Control. She uses spells like Slow, Hold Monster, and Mirror Image to test the party's responses and set up her defenses. Phase 2, Pressure. She starts summoning Temporal Echoes and dropping Temporal Wrens. The battlefield fills with explosions and shifting positions. And Phase 3, Rewind. Just when the party thinks they've won, she dies, then rewinds time, fully healed. With Foresight active, the tower's layout changes and the party realizes they are reliving the fight. However, this time, she has an even greater upper hand. Use her lair actions to amplify that theme. Shift the map completely with Temporal Shift. Sap the party's strength with Age and Decay. Or let her literally move up in the initiative order, eventually acting twice in a round when she hits the top. Every turn should make the players feel as if the laws of time itself are slipping away, or worse, working against them. Whatever story you tell, Tempora transforms normal wizard boss into something mythic. Tempora the Chronomancer isn't just a challenge. She's a force of nature, a way to make it feel like your world is unraveling in real time. Until that time doesn't suit Tempora, of course, and then she decides to make some customizations. If you want to download the full PDF stat block for Tempora, the Orc Chronoguard, and her Temporal Echoes, join the Bastion on Patreon. It really helps the channel. As does hitting that like button and subscribing so you don't miss a single weekly monster. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Until next time, may your wit be as sharp as your sword.